And we're just setting it up. Ooh, here we go. Hi, Lane. How are you doing?
Marvelous. Yourself, Walter?
Come see, come saw. That's French,
Cool.
don't you know?
Ah, yeah, well. I did. I didn't know what it means, though. Sounds French.
Do you guys got smoke out your way?
No.
You do not.
However, Siberia is very hot at the moment. And if that goes up, the whole of the northern hemisphere will be covered in smoke.
Yeah.
Siberia had 40 degrees C yesterday.
Really? You guys got Siberia? Up to 40. That's 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, Siberia.
Oh, Siberia.
Well, Siemens just being cold.
That's going to thaw out all those dinosaurs.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
There'll be mammoths everywhere. I'm going to have to recreate this devastating repartee in a sec.
In a second.
Oh well.
We're gonna record to the cloud. It'll be fine. So you're saying Siberia got up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
If that's 40. What 40 degrees C is, yes. I can't be asked to look it up.
I'm bilingual, imperial and metric. So
good man. That's because you're Canadian.
Yeah, I know. We do everything. So we do things that make sense, that we think, and then America stops us from making sense. So it's been going on for a while.
Yes.
So it's what I can't say. But as far as smokes, let me show you one.
Masks are back.
No, damn it. I'm not going to show you one.
George W. Bush would be proud of Canada at the moment.
He would.
Smoking them out.
Well, actually, I am going to show you one. So you just okay, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
So that's about 100 and some kilometers from my house in Prince George.
Bloody hell.
That looks like CGI, but it is not.
It's like Apocalypse Now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This is the end. Beautiful friend. Jesus. Well, on the bright side, if there is one, you're creating a lot of nitrates for new growth. This may be nature's wink wink way of starting afresh.
Yeah, so that's on the west side of Canada. And well, I'll tell you what, let us start our show and we'll bring in Jim and Martha, okay, Lane?
Yes.
Okay. There we go. We're getting a little smoother. Let's bring in Jim and Martha.
Wow, so there's no audio.
Yeah.
How you doing? I really love
your audio. Oh, I want to start that again. I got to
Yeah.
start that again then. I mean, that's bullshit.
Can I point something out as well regarding that graphic?
Sure.
It sort of pulls you in. You find yourself just thinking, ooh, falling into the void.
Wow.
Like that. Anyhow.
Okay, we're doing something good. You know what? I'll fix it in post. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's send.
That sounds so Hollywood.
It does.
Let's fix that in post.
It's
That's
hypnotic. Right. The visual is hypnotic, and it's like a drug.
Do you want to see it again then? Do you want to see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm off my game today, but that's fine.
It's only a game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh geez, Willikers, man.
Willikers.
Yeah. No production values. So you get great conversation, but low production values.
It's all about the crack, Walter, isn't it? In the end of the
It
day.
is, my friend, it is. Here we go. Let's do it again.
There we go. Still no audio.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
Just
say
like-
no audio?
No audio.
Oh,
Mesmerizing graphics.
It's like that TV show, the time tunnel. Remember that?
I do very
I
much.
don't.
That fellow just passed away too. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
It is. It's actually not bad. Anyways, Jim, Martha, Hi.
Hi.
how
Hey.
are you guys?
Hello.
Oh, great. Well, your suspended particulates have created a horrible, nightmarish air condition over here. It's 55 moderate.
Oh, yeah.
It's moderate.
I never thought of you as a moderate.
It's moderate stinks. You don't want to breathe moderate air.
No.
Susan
No.
Collins is a moderate.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, we
go on.
we missed it. We missed it. We're just kind of like the eye of the storm here, and nothing happened. Nothing happened here. All that horrible air circled around Maine
Right.
because even Maine is too boring for forest fire air.
As a Canadian, all I can say is I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know, I
Literally.
can't say much more than that, boss.
That's what Canadians do, isn't it?
Yeah, we're sorry. You know, that's what happens. So, okay, I'll set this one up because we didn't have sound. I have to do it a different way. So, you know, that's why. After 4 weeks, you think I'd be good at this, but I am not.
Well, you're too busy with your ball joints. That's understandable. Man your age, you want to, adjust and replace your ball joints.
Yes. Yes, this
I
is true.
recommend omega-3 olive oil.
Okay.
Not olive
be
oil.
quiet. Be
Fish
quiet
oil.
now.
You do realize the last time the audio did actually work.
Masks are back on the streets of New York City. But it isn't COVID worrying these people, it's a blanket of thick haze. A slew of wildfires across the border in Canada has seen a blanket of smoke cover much of the northeastern United States, stretching as far as the Midwest. Authorities have cautioned those at risk to stay inside and others to take precautions.
I feel very bad. At times I can't breathe. It make breathing difficult.
I wear the mask because I hear about the smoke is coming from Canada, and they say it's very dangerous. So that's why I started using again.
I did mean to wear a mask today, and then I've gotten out of the habit, so I forgot to do it. But mostly staying inside. And again, the kids are all their activities are indoors now today.
At one point on Wednesday, the air quality in the Big Apple was so low that it dethroned longtime champion New Delhi for the unenviable title of world's worst air quality.
Whoa, you're number one. What do you think of that? Way to go, America.
Well, I think it's incredible that all these people are wearing masks because they see something in the air, but most of them wouldn't wear a goddamn mask for something that they can't see, and it's a virus that's still killing 1,000 people a week. That just we had a rehab center up in Portland here in Maine or north of here that had a sudden outbreak of coronavirus, and a recent convention of CDC members had 180 people coming out of that with infections. And they weren't wearing masks, but sure, If you see something dirty in there, suddenly it exists for you. You know,
What's your point, Jim? I'm
the
not
point is,
understanding.
the point is, this country is congenitally stupid.
Well, just wash your hands. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So the N95s are coming out of the drawers and the masks are coming out, and they were dusty. And if you wear them, they get dusty as well.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder how many of these people are wearing them said they didn't work for helping stop COVID infections. I wonder if they were, masks don't work. They have been proven to work. Suddenly they're coughing. They're wearing a mask all of a sudden. I wonder if, I'd like to know the percentage of anti-maskers who are wearing masks now.
Well, are you guys getting smoke up in Maine?
No,
showed
we've
you
had a
this.
low pressure system hanging over us for the last week almost. So we haven't had any. It's been cloud cover until today.
Mhm.
So no smoke at all,
Okay.
except for the neighbor's cigarettes.
And that's a bad thing? Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Don't smoke, kids. Don't smoke.
Yes, sure.
We're at number 7 out of 10 on the scale for breathability right now, up where I am. And it's bound to get worse. And we're in a heat dome. So we're at 90 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And it's supposed to keep the heat dome will keep all the pollution and the smoke to the ground closest to us so we can ingest it and filter it out back into the environment. So we're doing our part to help the world.
Good
Well,
lad.
you Canadians are really nice that way.
Thank you, eh?
You're welcome.
Hey, Hey, you want a beer, eh?
Is
that how you-
Eh, I speak
Yes.
Canadian.
That's how you guys talk, right? Yeah.
I've just had a revelation.
We do. Yeah, they just come over to mine and bring a 2-4 and stop at Tim Hortons and pick up a box of donuts, eh? And
Tim
we'll,
Hortons.
we'll watch the hockey game.
I've
Eh?
just had a revelation.
Yes.
Fonzarelli was Canadian. He went all the time, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's right.
We're going to stay with American humor today, Lane.
Next week, can you wear a leather jacket and do that and say sit on it a lot? Sit on it. Hey,
No, you must
Sit on
do that.
The Canadians can't say that. You must sit on that. I think
Yes.
you would say that.
And
That's
maybe you
fine.
can fix your U joint next week with a leather jacket on, simply
No.
by hitting it with your elbow.
I'm doing that on the Lord's Day on Sunday.
Good man.
Right.
Happy.
Because I'm busy tomorrow and then I have to fix the U joint. It's what it is. How was your guys' week, Jim and Martha?
That was pretty
Sweetheart?
good, eh?
In your
Just-
face, Canadian.
Just smoking.
No smoke here, eh?
Okay.
No smoking. What did we do? We didn't do anything. We just we planted a lot in our garden.
Oh,
Isn't
you
that
did.
cute?
Is it a garden of love, Jim?
It's a love garden. Yes.
It's a love garden. Okay.
You don't want to know what happens in it.
No, it ain't. This is not that kind of show, but after hours after dark, it is that kind of show. So
It's a
you guys should join us with, there's a newsletter in the link. Join us, join our Discord, meet some interesting people, not necessarily better people, but interesting, I would say.
It's a forbidden love garden.
That is the best kind.
We have all kinds of stuff. We got broccoli and cilantro and cucumber.
Artichokes.
No,
tomatoes.
Right. I need to reiterate this again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not cilantro. It's coriander.
Coriander.
Thank you very much.
I need to reiterate this. You guys should just dig up that weed and throw it away.
We put
Cilantro.
our coriander in
Cilantro.
aluminum foil.
Aluminium foil. Yeah.
Aluminum.
Why do you
Why
add
not?
what extra
Why
syllable? What is it with that?
We made it up. It's our word, you buggers.
Got a whole lorry full of it.
Yes.
Well, the British put the U in humor, right? So That's,
That
that's
they
a
did.
word. That's a word play.
Yes, it is.
Jim, I was going to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
because I was thinking about the life of a comedy writer, and none of us here know anything about comedy. Not at
Neither
all.
do I.
Lane's a singer by trade, I
No.
would say,
Yeah.
and a pilot. And
Yeah.
and he's a good looking dude on the internet. And he gets himself in trouble. too.
Filters. That's what that is.
His filters.
Yeah.
So when you're sitting down to write a sketch or a comedy thing, because you can't always be funny all the time. We know you, Jim.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
so what do you like? You're sitting in a room with a guy or a couple of guys and stuff. How do you write a humorous story for whoever you're writing it for?
You mean
He
at a
asks
real
Martha.
Ask Martha.
Mhm.
At
Yeah.
a real job, or just sitting at home.
Anytime, anything. Well, okay, let's say in a real job. Let's say you're on you're writing for the Daily Show. Like you couldn't figure out to yourself, okay, I'm going to be funny today. Or if you're feeling bad, how would you write to be funny, like in situations like that? And
Where I
I'm
don't
going
want
to have
where I
a
don't
beverage.
where I don't want to be there and
Mhm.
and hate what I'm writing because it's a boring story. Oh, you just have to, look at how much you're getting paid every week. That helps. And it helped then, even though we weren't getting any health care.
So what you're getting paid makes you laugh?
It gives you confidence. And also, I don't know what I'm saying. It just depends. Sometimes you have a whole string of days where nothing you write is funny because the stories aren't good or you're not good. And when that happens, you start getting desperate and you start blaming your writing partner, or you get in a fist fight, or you pour soda on their seat while they're gone.
Mhm.
And you lock you fart in a bag and you put it next to his face, that kind of stuff. And that gets you through it.
Get you through it.
That gets you through. No, none of that actually happened. You just go in the left field when you can't think of anything funny for a story.
Mhm.
You just make something up, go into an absurdist angle.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the story, but you stick it in there and hope it will be funny because it's out of left field.
Because the comedy writers and like especially in the 60s, they had to tread lightly with the censorship and to get on TV. So their stories were quite ingenious. Some of the comedians, right?
Unless it was racist. Or they could say racist stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to stop there for a second. We're going to bring in Dave from DPA. Thanks, Lane. Dave, I'm sorry, boss, for being so late to get you on here.
Cool, it's overtime anyway. Take all the time you want.
What are we doing
guys
today,
doing?
Dave?
That over there, that stack of wood, that's my drawers all in a bunch. I'm making dovetail drawers for a pantry cabinet.
Oh, so this is
a little bit of routing, a little bit of handwork.
This is you're
And,
continuing the project from last week. Then you did the you did the boards
I was
for the
planing
pantry?
the cherry for that cabinet. Yeah.
Right, and now
Last week,
you're
yeah.
you're making drawers for this cabinet.
Yep.
Okay, how many drawers are you going to make, Dave?
A dozen.
Going to make a dozen drawers.
I am.
Is this for
Before
a
your very
customer? Or
eyes.
is this your own personal cabinet?
No, I just do this to waste away my inheritance. No, this is for a customer. Yeah.
That's why if I had money, I'd go into farming until it was all gone. So
Yeah.
You usually get
Indeed.
all your drawers in a bunch when you tackle a job like this.
bunch of drawers.
Yeah, because I just got a big deposit from a client with a lawyer, so
Oh,
I better get it done.
Friggin' lawyer, eh? What kind of carpenter are you that you need a lawyer?
No, they have the lawyer.
Oh, okay. Well,
The people that gave me a deposit of green money. Yeah.
well,
At least
that
it's
is-
a deposit for your drawers and not in your drawers.
Hi-oh.
that's true. Okay, Dave.
I
well,
often have to sand down my drawers.
we look forward to watching you do your drawers. So
Thank you. I look forward to the humor part.
yeah, we're gonna get to it. And Lee will be up soon. So
So far, I've counted like 6 drawers puns, and I think that's a good start to any show.
Need to draw a veil over them.
okay. All right. Anyways, so we were talking about comedy writing. Yeah. Martha, do you like if Jim gives you a bit to do you change it to more reflect yourself on what you want to do?
Yeah, sometimes I do, I suppose. I put my own ad libs or whatever I think that character might, say in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't meant to be an uncomfortable question.
No, she never
Uh.
touches anything. It's all written.
Don't
in-
change it. Fine. Leave it alone. What's the matter? You don't like it?
I slaved for 10 minutes over this.
Is there something wrong with what I did?
You don't like the punctuation? Go ahead,
All work
punctuate
and no
yourself.
play makes Jack a dull boy. Wendy, I'm home. Oh no, I it's not an uncomfortable question. I mean, sometimes I'll give Jim the idea, and so he'll be writing my ideas.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
yeah,
So
or I'll say, hey, wouldn't it be funny if Martha Stewart showed up, or had something to say about what she was in the news about, or various Susan Collins
mhm.
topics, current events.
Speaking of which, wasn't Martha Stewart in the news this last week?
Oh, she was. It would be great if we could find her and see
Can we
if we could
find Martha?
call
Stewart?
her Martha. I know she has a place in Maine. She's got another one of her estates somewhere here in Maine.
Yeah,
up
maybe
by,
we can.
Bar Harbor.
Maybe we should talk to Martha Stewart about what her latest controversy, because she really pissed some people off, and I think it's
Really?
important.
Yeah, well, let me see if I can find her.
If you can find the picture of her.
Yeah,
And then-
give me a couple minutes.
Sure.
And,
I
yeah.
kind of think you must be putting in U joints today too, Jim. The way
You or ball joints, flange, I have all kinds of sockets and all kinds. I got a lot of tools in my tool shed. All right. And I'm not talking specifically. I'm talking metaphorically.
oh,
And I think you know it. I think you know this.
I do. Look who just entered. It's Martha.
Oh, it's
well,
Martha.
hello, everybody.
But Martha Stewart, is there a reason why you showed up today?
Well, I just wanted to take a little time off from belittling my ex-husband for not being a good provider to remark on the recent kerfuffle over something I said in Footwear News last week. My goodness.
Footwear News.
Yes, I want all you layabout millennials, old fart boomers, and Gen XYZers to get back to work. Just look at France, for goodness sake. People milling about in the streets, protesting to keep their vacation time and remote working. Should America also go down the drain of the universal health care, riding bikes, and protecting old people? Just because some lazy cheese eaters refuse to return to their beige cubicles and breathe toxic supervisor fear farts the rest of their unimportant lives? Certainly not. Take it from me, I'm the only person to appear on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue without 5 of their original internal organs.
Wow, wait, you're missing 5 of your original internal
Yes,
organs.
I am, Jim. That's correct.
Well, that means you're kind of elevated up.
Fantastic.
You're kind of up there age-wise, probably.
Well,
Anyway, go ahead.
and if you don't return to your unventilated offices, America will turn into a hellscape of pleasant outdoor cafes, tree-lined courtyards, and 8-week paid vacations.
Oh, that sounds just like France. I wouldn't want that to happen.
Yeah, fantastic. And speaking of my time in prison, on the next Martha Stewart Living in the Big House, I'll show you how to remove that ugly electronic monitoring anklet so you can leave the oppressive confines of your 40-acre mansion. I'll also give you tips on how to spend that extra 3 weeks of home confinement after you piss off the judge one too many times. Spoiler alert, it involves obscene amounts of money and delicious psychedelic cupcakes. And fantastic, isn't it? And what goes best with parole violating hashish cupcakes while under house arrest, you ask? Why, simply superb toilet wine, of course.
Toilet wine. Oh, yes.
Yes, Jim. Now, many of you have asked, crazy old out of touch rich lady, what kind of toilet is best for making toilet wine? Why, a bidet, of course. A bidet offers the convenience of hands-off wine spritzers penetrating priceless dental work, coupled with the elegance and decor of let me repeat that, coupled with the elegance and decor only a French designed ass nozzle can provide.
A what? What'd you say? Oh, French
A
designed.
bidet. Let me repeat that.
A French designed what?
A bidet offers the convenience of hands-off wine spritzers, penetrating priceless dental work, coupled with the elegance and decor only a French-designed ass nozzle can provide.
Oh, that's what I thought you said.
Yes. So, until the next time I say something revoltingly ignorant and offensive, this is Martha Stewart reminding you to don't do the crime if you can't do the wine. Toilet wine, that is.
Bravo.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Martha Stewart, where do you wait, that's a pretty creepy laugh you have there.
Fantastic.
Where do you get your passion for design from?
Well, Jim, my father had a passion for canning. He liked to can all of his emotions in his hurt container until it exploded at the dinner table.
Oh, okay. So you have many estates throughout the country. Where are you currently?
I
where are you currently
do.
residing now?
Well, I live in the former summer estate of automobile tycoon Edsel Ford. I just want to focus on my salad right now.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Do you have any awards you'd like to speak of?
Of course. Jim, I received the Golden Plate Award from the American Academy of Achievement. So you can all eat my ass.
Okay. Well, that's
I
That's-
may be domineering and controlling, but look at my tits.
oh.
Mm.
Well, sure.
I
That's the
have the-
reason.
I
Yeah,
have a
go.
panache for restoring and decorating old pieces of crap into new pieces of crap.
That's how you made your billions.
400 billion, baby.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight
You're
on
welcome,
this
Jim.
show.
Oh, well,
that
thank
is-
you. Thank you for having me.
This show is riddled with Canadians, by the way.
Martha's not a Canadian.
I know. I just wanted to warn her ahead of time for the next appearance.
Yeah, thank you, Martha.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. You know, I'm no bullshit con artist worth $400 million who makes you question every decision you've ever made. That's not me, but it's a good thing.
Okay. Jim, thanks for bringing Martha Stewart on. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, it's always a pleasure.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I gotta say at how old is she? How old is Martha Stewart?
81.
81. She looks good for 81.
Thank you.
Yeah. That swimsuit issue. Kids can't get enough of buying that. That's the first time they've seen a magazine. So
There we are.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, well, but that's not your real hair color, is it? That's
Of course it is.
okay.
The carpet matches the drapes, if in case you're asking.
Johnson.
I'm Martha Stewart. And the carpet matches the drapes. How could you possibly think otherwise?
No.
At a point. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the lack of emotion. It's so funny.
It is. All right. Hey, I got something for you, Jim and Martha. See if this shows up. Hopefully it does. Here we go. So Cornel West is announcing his 2024 presidential campaign.
Yeah.
Do you got some thoughts there, boss?
He's hitching his fate to the People's Party and Nick Brana and the RFK Jr. and and the anti-vaccine movement and the like 60, 70-year-old pseudoscience crapola that is just shameful. And it's like he doesn't know that. You know, I saw him in an interview yesterday or the day before where he just kind of acts surprised at the question. I think it was on Democracy Now.
Yep.
And it was sad. I love Cornel.
I do too, actually. I actually, because he backed Bernie in both elections. Michael from the Majority Report, Brooksy, really liked him, and I like listening to Cornel. However, his announcements and with the People's Party is kind of suspect. I'm going to say. So the good thing is he's running. The bad thing is he's running for the People's Party.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would have been better with the Green Party, or better yet, come into the Democratic Party and shake things up. Do you think him and Biden would have? I don't even know. Is Biden going to do any debates this year?
Not to my knowledge. I think but either the Democratic Party kills everything it touches, but
Well, it does. It does.
at
except for-
least he'd have more of a voice than he would with the
Yeah.
People's Party. The Green Party has more access to more states. I would think
They do. I think they're in every state now, aren't they?
yeah, the People's Party is only in 2, I think.
Right.
Does that matter for the presidential election? I don't know. I mean, do you have to be?
Well, theoretically, you could have a president outside of a party like Ross Perot running and becoming president. You'll still have to work for the 2 parties, right? But you need to get into every state, and that unfortunately costs money, and it costs volunteers because you have to get a petition with names and stuff, right? That was the
Yeah.
Green Party problem. Okay, so we have that.
What do you think are his motives? Because I've got a feeling he's probably been a bit flattered by the people who wanted him to run in that bunch of people.
Yeah,
But also there is a hankering for something new
Mhm.
from all sides of the political spectrum. Because I think but I don't see that lot. But then again, they are literally populist, so they are popular. Whether they're right, as in correct, or not, is another matter. I didn't mean right as in right wing, because most of them are. So it's like I'm sick because I do like him. Like I've tried to get him to come and speak with us in the past.
Mhm.
I'm like, I sort of see where he's coming from, but I watched that interview as well on Democracy Now, and he did seem to be. It feels like they've flattered him. And
yeah, I think he's flattered by the likes of Jimmy Dore and Nick Brana. I don't know why he would be, but he just doesn't seem to. He's going to have to answer. He's going to have to address RFK Jr.'s bullshit and Jimmy Dore's bullshit, and a lot of it is conspiratorial idiocy that attracts anti-Semites and racists and climate change deniers.
Peter Thiel funded nonsense in it.
Yeah, so he's going to have to.
And he's such a great talker, and so the winner in this is actually Nick Brana and the People's Party, because they'll get it more public now, more media attention. And he said he wants to hold the Democrats accountable, and this is why he's doing it, to bring media attention to this. However, I really wish there was another venue, because I do really like the fellow, and I know he got him, very outspoken.
And I suppose with the Greens, he doesn't have, his focus has never been really on environment. So he can't exactly run on a green ticket and not be like fully up to speed with all of the green issues. So I think that's probably why. I might not have seen another alternative.
Yeah, you'd think he would be more in tune with the environment, because environmental disasters affect poor people first. And he's basically running a war against poverty campaign, I would think. And you're talking about
right up it's right up his alley, war against poverty.
Yeah, and you said that Cornell wants to hold Democrats accountable.
Apparently,
yeah, but the People's Party fosters the Brownstone or Great Barrington Declaration and the Brownstone Institute and RFK Jr. again, and Jimmy Dore and Robert Malone, and all of these lunatics who want to hold medical professionals, epidemiologists, accountable, to the point of posting memes with nooses and the phrase Nuremberg 2. And so they want to put these people in jail. They want to put medical professionals and scientists in jail for advocating masks and vaccines. That's what they want. That's
Right.
their so-called accountability.
And it's accountability, and these people were doing what they thought was right. I think that's people forget that how to keep the population safe. Well, if we do this, this will help, right? And then they're trying to take them to put them in jail, like you say, for doing what they thought was right at the time.
Yeah, and it pretty much was right at the time. I mean,
Right.
the vaccine, a virus changes with each variant, and so does the science, so does the scientific consensus. And,
Right.
you know, vaccine mandates, all of us have dealt with them. I mean, I don't think there's anybody here who hasn't had a vaccine or been required to have a vaccine to enter school, I would think.
True.
Or to go overseas, or
Yeah, or if you step on a nail.
Walter,
Yeah.
Professor John has his hand up.
Does he? Oh,
He does.
okay.
Oh, I have a two-part question for Jim Earl, and also a question from Martha Previte. Jim, do you think that Cornel West will win in a landslide or a squeaker? And will our vice president be Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or Marianne Williamson?
well, I don't think he'll win anything, but if he gets some kind of reasonable message out and attention, that would be great. But it's just really sad that it has to be alongside the People's Party. In tune with your question, who's going to be Trump's vice presidential candidate? You
think it'll be Robert F. Kennedy Jr.?
It could be, the way things are going.
Oh, Jimmy Taylor Green.
Kanye West.
With or without the bag on his head?
Would make a difference.
And for Martha, do you think that we could arrange for Martha Stewart to be an ongoing consultant on tips for Trump should he find himself in federal prison, given the new indictments coming up against him? And you could offer him tips and guidance given your experiences.
So, John, just to reiterate to Martha, your question is, does Trump's hair match the carpet?
No, I don't.
That's the...
I don't think I asked that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
That would be fantastic.
Yes, they do match. His hair does match the carpet because they're both detachable and artificial. Thank you.
All right. Well,
bravo, Jim. Bravo.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay, we have Mike Pence.
Oh,
he's entered the race. Boys and girls.
Mr. Enigma. Charisma.
That's right. A lot of charisma with that fellow. Any thoughts there, or you just don't care?
I think it'll be funny to watch.
Him and
this
Trump.
whole thing. I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I think I'm just going to, write in Ralph Nader. I'm never going to vote for a Democrat for president again. and I have a list of reasons. I have like 9 or 10 reasons, personal reasons of people I know who are either died or are currently undergoing GoFundMe, begging for money for medical bills. And
yeah, it's your Medicare system, GoFundMe, right?
Yeah, died in debt or currently about to die in debt. And to have a president or presidential candidates or a whole party who claims to be for the working class continually deny Medicare for all and promise to veto it if it ever comes on their desk. That's just never fucking again. I'm never gonna you know, and it's not nihilistic either. I think it's realistic. You know, what's nihilism is, or nihilism is, voting for these people over and over and over again, expecting a different result.
Right,
And-
but, and like, if everybody thought that way last time, you'd still have Trump for a second term. I mean, that's the argument, Jim. How do you approach an argument like that?
Well, if everybody thought that way last time, they would have demanded that during the primaries that the people running make concessions and,
Yes.
you know, do it in writing. Say, I will do this. I will, my first day, I promise to do this, and run on that. But that never happened with Joe Biden. I had people calling me a Trumper before the Democratic primary even began for backing Bernie Sanders. So this kind of self-destructive.
Don't you think Biden was a little more progressive than he was? Don't you think Bernie moved him to the left a bit? How's that school debt thing working out? Is that finished yet? Everybody's debt from school is done with? No, is that right?
No, it's just performative bullshit. He's
okay.
You know, the media painted him as the most progressive Democratic candidate since FDR. It's utter lie.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Yeah.
How's Rick's 600 bucks going, by the way?
How's what?
Rick, he didn't get the $600.
Yeah, where's my 600 bucks?
There you go, dude.
Okay. All right.
The funny thing about Mike Pence is he's either got the most monumental ego or he can't take a hint, given the fact that when he was vice president, there was a gallows waiting for him on the fucking lawn outside the Capitol.
Yeah.
It's like, take a hint. It's like,
yeah.
Why are you running? That's insane.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
well, let's
insane.
go. Chris Christie. Chris
Yeah.
Christie's running. So last week he wasn't running, right, Martha? Sorry, I'm pointing to Martha on my other screen here, and she can't see me. So,
The wonders of technology.
That's right. So he's attacked the former president, and he's saying he's running to just put the shaft to Trump. That's his only goal in this Republican nomination thing.
Oh, is that Martha or myself? Or
both of you guys?
Oh.
Hop in there. What do you think? Christie's running. Is he the best out of the Republicans right now? Am I wrong?
I hope he doesn't shut down the bridge.
There is nothing to get you guys excited during this nomination process this year, is there? Nothing.
No, it's like, well, it's like watching a train wreck. I guess that's kind of fun for a while.
Right.
You know?
Okay. Let me show you what. Let me show you, and I think you can see it. This is what Trump put out. If you notice the smorgasbord.
Donuts for all.
Trump did that? Really?
Trump did that, yes.
What a child he is.
And Christie said, what a child Trump is as a result.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My God.
So in a clip where Christie's calling him childish, Trump does something exceedingly childish with a clip.
That's right.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's true. And he put him out as a smorgasbord holding up a plate of food. And so Trump's on his game. Eh?
Hey, got some good writers. Good writers.
Some good writers, yes. That's right.
Maybe Trump will pick him for his vice president. Can you imagine the smorgasbord of fast food?
Big Macs for everyone. That's right.
Big Macs for all.
Big Mac in every pot.
Right. So you got a whole friggin' year of this, a year and a year and a half almost of all this. When's it going to stop?
It's gonna end.
Yes. And so are you going to go to your end of your life, which I hope is a long ways away, not ever having a president you liked? Is this?
Yes,
Mhm.
I think so. I lost hope when RFK Jr. was killed. That was it. And then,
I remember.
you know, a
that.
few months later, I have to go to my elementary school auditorium, and they have a live shoot of the inauguration of Richard Nixon, and all the kids clap, and I'm in hell. This is hell. This, going through Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy getting killed, and that was just
What were your thoughts about Eugene McCarthy? Or did you have any at that age?
I didn't even know who he was at that age.
Okay.
No, never heard of him. Yeah, fuck.
60s politics, eh?
And then, the reelection of Nixon and an insult to injury, and then fucking Ford pardoning the piece of shit, and nobody giving a damn.
Yeah.
Like,
well, even Obama had a chance to bring the Bushes to jail, or at least try them for war crimes, but there was no precedent prior. And I think the only good thing that came out of the 60s and 70s concerning Nixon was women burning their bras. I think that was, empowerment.
I can't speak for that. I've never owned a bra in my life. I have stolen a few, but
okay.
And
How many have you worn?
Right now? I have 3 on now.
I should have them. I've got immense man boobs. I should have a bra.
Well, I got sick over the winter, and I lost 30 pounds and 2 breast sizes. So pretty good. Yeah.
What were you sick with? May I ask that? Is that a personal question?
I had an inflamed colon.
Really?
Yeah. I was in the hospital for a bit, and thanks for asking. But I have noticed.
Well, I didn't want to go that far. You could have made something else up, Like a sprained ankle. All right.
Right.
Next time, just say sprained.
I
ankle.
sprained my toe and I lost 30 pounds. Yeah.
Okay. See, that makes more sense.
Right. But in this country with our eating habits, and I actually do eat quite proper. But the McDonald's and stuff like that, there's a high rise of colon problems and diverticulitis in the country in North America, right? And
There is.
And I think maybe it's from using Roundup as a desiccant for drying out the wheat and the corn and stuff like that, and it goes into your kids as cornflakes, and they're eating. The studies have shown that they're eating,
Glyphosates, isn't it?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. So we really have to watch our food production because they're going to kill us all in order to make a buck, right? So,
I agree. My grandmother, my mom's mom had a farm in central Kansas for in the family for over 100 years.
Right.
And every time she'd come back from a visit, when I was young, she just noted that everybody there, all the people in the rural community, just year after year, someone's getting cancer.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people put 2 and 2 together. It's all the pesticides.
Well, and the Teflon, in the water and stuff like that, and at the plants, there's a big lawsuit going on right now. And like every Teflon item I have in the house, I threw out. Once it's scratched, it'll leach Teflon into your foods, right? And I don't even think the great big the plant in India. Jeez, carbide. Do you guys remember that? The big
Oh yeah,
explosion?
Union
Yeah,
Car-
Union Carbide.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
not settled.
In
Is
Bhopal.
yeah, Bhopal, as far as I know. And why not? Same as the Exxon Valdez, right? I
Mhm.
heard Alaskan residents are still going to court over that. Why is that not settled? And
When was that? Exxon
Which-
Valdez?
yeah,
30
In the
years ago, something like that?
80s,
it was, yeah.
I believe.
Mhm.
Bloody
Right,
hell.
And
right,
BP, the Texas Gulf.
right.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to even get into the Love Canal. There was a couple
Sure.
of people who had the
That's not what I've heard, Bruce. Bruce Walter. That's not what I've heard.
Bruce,
I've heard
tell
he's
us
big
tell us
fan of the
about
Love
Bruce,
Canal.
Lane.
People call you Bruce every week.
Yeah, oh, that's fine.
Look at
tell
Stevie
him
is Stevie is playing with his tool.
he is too.
Yeah, man.
Can we, Dave, do you want to give us an update before we don't talk to you again?
That's something I said.
Where are you? Where are you? I see a joiner. And what are
Not
you?
far enough.
What are you doing now?
You can see I routed
Oh, you
these
dovetailed.
dovetails. Yeah. See that?
How are you with U joints?
Not so good.
Okay.
My knuckles bleed just like yours, Walter. So
Yeah, I tell you.
no thanks.
Okay.
Rick's more of a car head than me.
There you go. Well, sometimes it's hammer time. So
I'm a Woody.
yeah, that's right.
May I ask a question of Dave in Pennsylvania?
Please.
Dave, do you ever work with hardened tiger oak like the Stickley brothers did at the turn of the last century?
Yeah. Absolutely. You want to see a piece?
Yeah, I'd love to. If anybody's never had a piece of Stickley furniture,
I've never asked. I've never asked anybody that question. So
they're
I've
incredible.
never
This is
really
a
wanted
piece
to
of
see a
curly
man before.
maple that I'm going to make rolling pins out of. I'm going to turn a couple rolling pins out of this, but this is what he's talking about, tiger maple. It's hard to see without a stain on it, but those horizontal stripes are ripples in the grain that change with the light as you look at it at different angles. It's not in the machining, it's actually in the grain of the wood. It's beautiful.
Does it smell nice, Deep? Yeah, most woods smell nice.
Well, most of them do, sure. Some
Unfortunately, that type of wood smells like ass.
actually basswood does. Basswood kind of smells like manure-ish.
that's some good
Anyway, this
TV
is a
right
rabbit
there.
trail.
Tigerwood. So Tigerwood, usually you match that with a Norwegian blonde, right?
Hey.
Ah, man. All right. You
We
see,
need to work
that's
on material ahead of the show.
All in wood.
that's comedy writing in action right there.
Double entendre. There you go. All right. So are you guys about fed up with us, Jim and Martha?
I'm,
You want to
I'm
talk
fed
about
up with
anything
my.
else? If not,
I've-
we're
Yeah.
gonna be talking about Ukraine, and John's there, so probably the debt ceiling, and we're gonna talk about Trump with Ann Lee. Unless you got something else to say.
I'm pooped to pop.
Can we still make this a thing? Are you okay? Did we bore you guys today? You know, we so appreciate you.
Are you
guys
talking
coming on.
about to us?
Yes.
No,
to
no.
Jim and Martha. Can't you see? I'm pointing
No.
right at you. Oh,
No,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
like hanging out with friends I never knew. No, we look forward to this. This is really nice.
And,
We really
good.
like it.
Well, I'm glad you're comfortable with this. This is good. We just need you to rate harder. Sorry. No, that was some good. Oh, well, hold on. Nathan, Wisconsin he's got a thumbs up. He's saying thumbs up for you too. There you
Oh,
go.
that's nice. Oh, great.
Thumbs up.
How far
Well,
up, Nick?
May your garden grow good this week. And
Thanks, eh? Keep your smoke up there.
just smoking. That's what we do up here. That's right. Have a beer, eh? And stay cool and grow your garden. And if some smoke comes down your way from the East Coast, remember I'm on the West Coast, so towards the West Coast.
Your fault. Not your
So it
fault.
wasn't my fault. Hey, actually, we talked about not saying anything about Ontario because we talked about the maritime provinces. They went up in flames. We talked about Ontario last week. They're now in flames, Ontario and Quebec. And that's where your smoke's coming from. So I'm glad we did not mention the province of Manitoba today. So that's good.
Oh, you just did?
Oh,
Oh, Walter.
we're gonna have to send fire extinguishers there.
Yes, get them
I
up
think
there.
so.
Helicopter.
Oh, what's neat during our provincial election up here in Alberta, our conservative premier blamed liberals out in the forests starting fires.
Yeah.
Says the lefties are out there trying to make me look bad.
Is she the same one who swore that she would apologize for the vaccination program?
Yes. And she's got some ethics violations. So, hey, we have shown we're just like Americans. We'll get anybody to be our leader.
We are next.
Right.
Oh,
Thanks,
that sounds
America.
great.
Thanks, Obama. Okay.
I blame the jab.
Okay.
The jab.
You two take care. Appreciate you guys coming around every
Thank
Friday.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Everybody, a round of applause for these two. There you go. Thank you, DPI. All right, Lane, I guess we're going to bring in, well, if her camera comes on, Ann Lee, actually, and Professor John.
Rojo.
Thanks, Obama. Okay. Well, let's bring in Ann. Hi, Ann. How's your internet situation today?
It's better. I switched networks. And I'm
switched networks?
No, well, I have two networks and I got the good network this time and it seems to be working. So we'll be okay.
Are you with Musk's satellite program?
No, not yet.
Okay. Let's bring in Professor John. Hi, Professor John. How are you doing, my friend?
Very well. How are you, Walter?
Well, John, you're looking chipper. Did you get a haircut, my friend?
I did.
That looks very good.
No, thanks.
I find that my age, my haircuts are getting fewer and fewer during the year. You know, unlike Lane, every week, you know, and like every time I brush my hair in the morning, I say a little prayer for the ones left behind on the comb. So this old age is starting to be suck. Really.
Don't leave men on the ground.
There you go. That's right.
There we go.
Okay. All right, you two. We have professors in the audience. So what I have for you, Ann, I mentioned to you that I wanted to talk a little bit, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. I mean, I would blame Canada. You gave us acid rain. We took your electricity. I mean, how ungrateful are you, Canadians?
Well, that's true.
Giving us all that smoke.
Yes.
Blame Canada, blame Canada. That's a new anthem, isn't it?
That is, yes, that's true. I know. I'm actually going to share this video from the BBC, and it will. There it is. The breach of the. It was apparently there was a flood in Ukraine, Anne.
Indeed, there was.
And we'll talk a little bit about that if you do not mind, as soon as I get back.
Not at all.
Okay. And here we go. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go.
The breach of the dam is a disaster, the consequences of which will become clearer as the water levels in the surrounding lands rise and those in the reservoir fall. This Ukrainian projection using satellite imagery suggests the extent of inundation that may happen over the coming days.
So, Anne, what do we know about that?
Well, it's a blame thing, and it's fascinating that you know, the disinformation is pretty rampant. Tucker Carlson's first Twitter report was on blaming Ukraine for blowing it up, even though it was under control of the Russians. They had already pre-positioned explosives in it and had threatened in October that they were going to blow it up. So it really seems strange to try and blame the Ukrainians for what is now 5 recorded official deaths and miles of, you know, acreage gone. It flooded the wetlands, killed all the animals in a zoo. It's really a horrible little piece of what some people have blamed Russia for, is ecocide on top of their genocide.
Right. I'll mention too that I watched a short clip of Jimmy Dore. Sorry, Jim, Earl. And Tucker Carlson was on there, and he did a Twitter 10-minute or 11-minute Twitter show. Got like 60 or 80 million views. And then Fox sent him a letter saying that he has to desist because he's still a Fox employee, apparently.
Yeah.
But sorry. Tucker was indeed saying it was the Russians. Jimmy Dore was saying, and then we have Peter Zaitan. Anyways, all the guys that I listen to about Ukraine are saying it was the Russians. But who am I to know? Let me show you what Kherson looks like right now. Okay. It's a lot of flooding.
They had to bring in emergency trains to take people away from the flood zone. But it is, you know, a necessary element of fighting a war, right? You use, you know, natural features in order to slow down the opposition. That's what the Russians are doing. But they've threatened to do this since October. So, you know, it's pretty clear that the Ukrainians are not going to flood their own territory like that, particularly urban territories. It's just insane.
There was also a suggestion that it might be mismanagement on the Russians. Well, actually, I've heard a couple of stories. One was they blew it up, but they blew it up too soon. So, I mean, they couldn't.
Too soon.
Too soon. They couldn't. They were wrong in the timing. The other thing I heard was that was poor maintenance on the Russians. I do know that there were videos of a bomb from underneath because they had mined it, right?
Right.
And it was built to withstand a nuclear war, apparently. And apparently the HIMARS rockets and stuff would not been able to bring the whole thing down like it is.
No, I think it would have taken a much larger missile, and the front end disinformation tried to prove that a missile hit it, and it was pretty lame for the most part. Really badly done videos and stuff to try and convince people that that's what was happening.
Right.
It was weakened from the get-go. I mean, it was weakened even in the earliest of the Kherson assaults. So the Russians were planning on doing this at some point. I think they were waiting for to carry on with the idea that they did it too early. Is that the Ukrainian offensive is still rolling out. It's not anywhere near, you know, what it's supposed to be doing. It's just that they started moving in that direction, and I think the Russians got a little trigger happy.
Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable. I don't know when we're going to know this, 10 or 20 years from now. Of who did it, but I was watching, believe it or not, Media Watch, who had RT TV, and there were some publicists saying that it's a good thing we did this, like these Russian publicists were saying, and other guys were going, no, it was the Ukrainians. But anyways, it's an argument, and the war continues, which is unfortunate, and let's just let everybody know we'd rather there wasn't a war. And I think everybody can agree with that, right?
There's a lot of front end claims about, you know, that it is a fascinating thing at a micro level. That is, the Russians claim they hit their first Leopard 2 tank And so, there's just all the usual blather, the kind of bad media is kind of coming forward. Well, even in the case of the dam, they dragged out film from World War II showing how they blew up the earlier version of the upstream river dam in 1941. So it is, the media framing is still unfortunate. But on the other hand, there's a tremendous amount of warfare going on. There's a lot of fighting. It's not going to manifest itself in full probably for another month, but it is interesting to see how even the smallest pieces of information are coming out that are, whether they're in plus or minus. The Belgians donated $32 million worth of 105 millimeter artillery rounds to the Ukrainians. So, these are just small, interesting things that are happening in the aggregate. And it does sound problematic, but, that's where the Ukrainian war is these days.
Right. So, well, there's been some talk about the flooded area, especially so on the Russian side got hit hard too. But the Russians had pulled their military out some days before.
Indeed.
Yeah,
They anticipated this. They pulled them away from the banks of the Dnipro. It looks obvious that the way the Ukrainians reported is that, well, they moved their collaborators and their equipment away from the flood zone. And in fact, there is stuff on this. They passed an ordinance that no one was on the Russian side was to investigate any of these infrastructure problems. So,
right.
And they just before they blow up the dam.
How did that happen? I don't know. I guess we'll never know.
Coincidence.
Yeah,
Coincidence.
That's right. But so there's a whole bunch of volunteers and stuff, and emergency workers trying to get these people to safety. The Russians apparently are bombing these volunteers and emergency workers. Is that right?
Oh, yes, they are. It's just incredible that they are continuing essentially the same amount of you have to call it kind of terror when you attack aid workers and areas that are flooded where people are trying to render aid. It's just amazing to see that at work. On the other hand, there's a lot of infighting on the Russian side between the Chechens and Wagner and the Wagner people, Prigozhin, and the regular Russian Ministry of Defense. So it looks like they're kind of unsettling, and hopefully in a mood to flee quickly.
But that's what brothers do when you're Russian. You fight with one another. That's the mantra. That's what you do. So you wanted to also talk, I know we could go into more depth, but if anybody wants to discuss more of this, go into the newsletter and get the link and join us on our Zoom call and Discord. And there's always talk and meet some good people, I would say. So you wanted to talk about something else, Anne? Was that Trump? Did you want to talk about Trump?
Yeah, it seems like this poor bastard is kind of up against the wall when you look at the 48-page indictment. I mean, they have him on a recording with 4 witnesses. He's pretty much screwed about in terms of understanding that he knew he was having a problem with the classified data. I just think it's fascinating that he's kind of broken out some of the oldies but goodies. He's attacking the special counsel, but more interesting, and I just put something out on Daily Kos about this, about attacking Jack Smith's wife, Katie Shavini, and she's an independent filmmaker. And I hope that she's still with their daughter, I think, in Europe. So it's going to be hard to get to her. But Trump was appealing to his cult to essentially foment violence. This is incredibly problematic. But he did the same thing for Alvin Bragg, attacking his wife, and he just sort of does these things. So, but that's the kind of nature of the Truth Social postings today, and unfortunately, some of them have been actually agitating. There's stuff online, pretty much the same kind of cast of characters online, being angry about these matters, particularly since it does look like now the indictment seems, well, it's not bulletproof, but Jack Smith did an incredibly good job tying up all the pieces of information. On the other hand, Walt, what kind of name is Waltine? Is it a brand of crackers or something? I don't know. I've just never heard the name Waltine. That's the name of Trump's body man, Waltine Nauta, who has got indicted as well, partially because he moved the boxes around and stuff like that. So I think Waltine Nauta is going to give up Trump.
You sure his second name isn't Matilda? Waltine Matilda. Waltine Matilda.
Well, Trump's been going after Biden for putting boxes next to his Corvette in his garage with the flimsy garage door that anybody can get into.
Indeed, and it's underneath. It's underneath the Corvette. That's the kind of weird thing. I mean, the narrative is quite bizarre anyway, because he's tried to make it also xenophobic, right? Just because the things. There were an archive, a Biden archive, that were stored in a former Chinese restaurant. So Trump has made that building into Chinatown somehow. It's just the weirdest thing. But that's kind of the nature of the kind of myth building that Trump is doing.
Yeah, so the court case itself too is it's moved to Florida, not in Washington, right?
Indeed, and I think it's very strategic. It's been explained in the mainstream media that the moving it to the Florida venue avoids any contesting of the issue of the venue, namely because DC, the jury pool in DC would be very more pro-Biden than in Florida. Although the counterfactual is, of course, that even in some cases the Trump supporters might actually believe in the rule of law, which is the current discourse that's going on in mainstream media. But placing it in Florida is really interesting, only because the Southern District of Florida is it's fairly used to doing fairly complex cases. The real problem, although, has been selecting judges, and apparently, at least at the first cut of selecting judges, that the same woman who had held up some of the original investigation, Eileen Cannon, I think, it is going to be, I think, the judge in charge. But I think there's going to be challenges to that, if nothing else, because of security. This exact same issue of people making threats, etc. So it is going to be an interesting thing, except that the trial itself will probably happen after the 2024 election.
That's what I was going to ask, if this would stop Trump, but apparently he can still run even if he's indicted, right?
Oh, yes, as long as he's not convicted. It is, of course, in the DOJ's interest to do it quickly, but undoubtedly there's going to be delaying tactics if Trump stays true to his usual, MO, and, pushing it off until then. I find it more interesting that some GOP candidates are promising to pardon Trump if they're elected. It's a kind of weird deal there.
Can you be pardoned before you're convicted?
Indeed. Well, that's kind of the way that Trump negotiates, Be violent for me and I'll pardon you, because that's what he did for the January 6th people, right?
Right.
Um,
Which are actually went to jail. Quite a few of them. The January 6th.
indeed. Indeed. We're up to 4 years now, I think, in terms of time in jail. And it's not going to get any better. Let's put it that way. But, you know, the interesting thing is that this documents case, and it's called the documents case, when in fact it's really constructed well, because it really doesn't confront the issue so much of the classified information or worrying about what is or isn't classified, as it is simply the act of obstructing, and the idea that the Espionage Act can be used in such a way that doesn't necessarily have to come into contact with the issue of what is or isn't classified. Although when you look at the summary on the indictment, there's some pretty interesting pieces of information there that, of course, are not identified in terms of what countries are involved, but a significant number of them, at least in my reading of it, are foreign countries with various security issues of one kind or another. Very few in terms of domestic politics, and it's just interesting to see what Trump himself would keep, hoarding all those little, you know, and fascinating, of course, in the indictment are images of where all those boxes were placed. It doesn't even engage the issue of whether they were in basements or anything. I think what they like showing is that there were boxes in bathrooms next to the toilet. You know, there's just an entire fascinating set of images that come along with the full indictment. But as I said, the important thing is to see, you know, what did he actually keep? And then the other outside issue, which will still probably or can be litigated, is the issue of whether he's still got more stuff hidden in like Bedminster or some other place. So this is going to be an incredibly fascinating little tale to follow. And of course, on when it occurs, I think on Monday or Tuesday, there will be undoubtedly helicopter coverage like they did in New York to witness his surrendering to authorities, etc. So it'll have that.
He did that once already, didn't he? So this is again.
You know, it's kind of like, because I remember when they you know, brought Michael Jackson forward, there were a bunch of helicopters.
And Lee, I'm going to assume a Scottish accent for a second here.
All right.
What if he sent some of the boxes to his golf course in Aberdeen?
Indeed. There is actually on the indictment, there's a stuff where they people asked him questions about, are you going to bring your boxes on the plane? And you know, it was just sort of interesting that he has this box thing, and you know, it's kind of weird that he carries little documents around with him like that in boxes. I mean, he has no sense. This is that whole thing about new versus old money in some ways, you know, he just drags it around in boxes. Right. I mean, if he were a true old money kind of guy, he would have satchels or valises or something more interesting.
That's
true. And of course, in Aberdeen, unlike Hitler, who only had one, he's got a number of bunkers.
Lots of bunkers.
You can hide them everywhere in that golf course.
Pitch and putt.
Well,
yes.
Let's move over to, well, look at Dave just digging in the wood there for one thing, and he's a craftsman, that boy. Magic man. How are you doing, John?
Great. How are you, Walter?
Good. How was the graduation ceremonies last week? You couldn't join us. They were
good. Yes, they went very well. It was nice. It was in a beautiful theater in Worcester, Massachusetts. Worcester.
Worcester. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
What is on your mind today, John?
Well, Walter, I'm going to disappoint you. I'm not going to talk about the debt ceiling.
You do. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump on your words. I was just going to say.
That's always on my mind, though. That is true.
Well, I very much appreciate it. And let me ask you what you're showing for Twilight Zone today for anybody who gets the newsletter link and then joins us on the Zoom for Friday. What will they see tonight?
Yeah, tonight is an episode called The Little People.
Ooh.
And it's about a narcissistic bully who dominates a society. I don't think you could relate to that at all, being that you live in Canada.
No, we've had some pretty tall prime ministers up here, John. So-
Okay.
Are you having a go at me here, John, being the little person in the room?
No. These
Yeah.
people are quite small. Quite small. Yeah.
Well, thanks, John, for sharing that with us. And John goes through it and he gives us the background, the cost, and we see it. And it's a nice experience and a chat afterwards about what everybody thought.
Yes, indeed. It's always fun.
It's a book club, but it's video.
That's true. Yeah.
It's true.
It's about one of the most important anthology series on American television, I think.
I would agree with that. They knew how to write back in the 60s.
What's that?
They knew how to write back in the 60s, right?
Yeah, well, Rod Serling certainly knew how to write. Yeah.
That's true. So what is on your mind today, John?
Well, today I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Dead
smoke.
ceiling. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that was a disaster, and it's an ongoing disaster. So don't worry, Walter. We'll return to that in a couple of
4
years. No, just less than 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I look forward to the sequel. No,
Okay, you're the only one.
right.
Yeah, I saw an article on truthout.org that I thought was interesting, and maybe some people have seen this this video clip that it refers to. But it's entitled Fox News guest tells viewers that cancer-causing wildfire smoke is safe to breathe.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the Majority Report, wasn't it?
Tell us more.
Oh, maybe it was on the Majority Report as well.
Yeah, and they were made like the comparison to black lung, you know.
Yes, yeah. So I'll just, I'll read this article. I think it's pretty well summarizes the situation. As unprecedented climate change fueled wildfires in Canada are resulting in record-breaking pollution in cities and towns across the US, marking not only a climate event, but also a major public health event. A Cole-funded lawyer went on Fox News on Wednesday night to spread a particularly dangerous lie that breathing wildfire smoke doesn't have any negative health effects. Appearing on the Ingram Angle, and I believe that's a segment on Fox that is hosted by Laura Ingram.
Sounds like the ingrown angle. Sounds painful, which it
yeah,
is.
she's worse than that. She's like Nazi adjacent, I think. Steve Malloy, senior policy fellow of the Koch and Cole funded Energy and Environment Legal Institute, said contrary to nearly all evidence that there's no health risk to breathing wildfire smoke. His remarks were chock full of lies as he laid forth an utterly baseless conspiracy theory that the Environmental Policy Agency straight out invented the harms of particulate matter, or PM 2.5, which is a particularly insidious form of air pollution caused by wildfires. This is what he said. The reality is there's just no health risk. There's EPA research. They've done lots of clinical research on asthmatics, on elderly asthmatics, on children, on elderly with heart disease. Not a cough or a wheeze from any of them, Malloy lied. The clip was first posted online by Media Matters for America senior fellow Matthew Gertz. We have this kind of air in India and China all the time. No public health emergency, Malloy continued. This is like clean air in China. A study by highly respected journal The Lancet last year found that 2/3 of all air pollution-related premature deaths in 2019 happened in India and China, with 2.36 million and 2.1 million premature deaths, respectively. At one point on Wednesday, New York City had the worst air quality in the world. Amazing.
Yes, we won.
You won. Well
How many
done,
of those
Megan.
cowboys had ended up with cancer?
The Marlboro Man.
No, I just meant the cowboys in the in the desert. Yes, I meant this. Yeah, them.
Quite a few, I think. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
This spokesman for the fossil fuel industry and the Coke industries said, this doesn't kill anybody. This doesn't make anybody cough. This is not a health event. This has got nothing to do with climate, he went on to claim. This is wildfire smoke. This is natural. This is not because of climate change. This is not because of fossil fuel or internal combustion engines. He wanted to make sure he got all his talking points in one sentence.
Oh, so as long as it's natural, it's fine. So as long as you're smoking 2 packs of American Spirits, it's fine.
Yes.
As long as trees are burning on their own, that's okay. Why they're burning, we don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, arsenic is natural, so I guess he would have no problem with drinking a lethal dose of that. Every part of this is untrue. Tens of thousands of deaths are attributable each year to acute exposure to wildlife pollution specifically. I'm sorry, wildfire pollution specifically. Many people have reported not only coughing, but also stinging eyes and lungs due to the smoke. Others have gone to the hospital for exacerbated asthma symptoms. Doctors are warning of the health effects of inhaling the smoke. Climate experts say that not only are the wildfires attributable to the climate crisis, but they are part of the new reality of a changed fossil fuel polluted world, and that the air pollution from the smoke is the worst in recent recorded history. In reality, PM 2.5, that's particulate matter smaller than 2.5 millimeters, I believe it is, a common pollutant from wildfires, is an extremely dangerous form of pollution, so fine that it can absorb into people's lungs and bloodstreams. Inhaling it has been found to be a precursor to asthma, lung cancer, and other forms of cancer, cardiovascular disease, and a variety of other negative health effects.
John.
Yeah.
Nothing to see.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see.
Just move on. Yes. And I would say, look at this guy's background. Okay. He's got degrees from Johns Hopkins, and he has a law degree from Georgetown. So, he's an elite who's been educated in these elite institutions, who's been hired by some of the most destructive people in history, naming the Koch brothers, to spread misinformation and get more people killed and make sure that governments do nothing about the climate emergency.
Well, if we would have swept the forest, John, we wouldn't be in this mess that we're in, right?
Yeah, he didn't even mention that. You'd think he'd show up with a rake or something, but no.
Join John on his new podcast. He reads bedtime stories from Fox. It'll put you to sleep like no problem. So.
Oh, it would keep me up at night.
Like smoke from a wildfire.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Well, the masks, quite a few people are wearing them again, as we've seen in that clip from New York, right? And so how you guys doing there? You're in Massachusetts, right?
Yes, it was
area.
bad here.
Not trying to dox you. I'm just saying you're in Massachusetts. So
Yeah.
not too far from Worcester. Whoops, sorry.
And just
I'm really glad, John, that you actually pronounce it properly instead of saying Worcestershire.
yeah.
Like Americans, you say
Well,
Worcester.
when you move to Massachusetts, you learn to pronounce Worcester correctly very quickly, or else you get punched in the face.
Wait,
Are
are you near where Sam Cedar and John Benjamin used to live? That's really cool.
Yeah, I am. Yes.
They had a baseball team in Worcester too, by the way. Might still. Anyways, I'm sorry. We're getting off topic here.
Yeah.
So you're not appreciating the smoke too much, but in terms of people on the right, they're saying it's not a problem. I did see something on Fox, and sorry, it came up in my YouTube, was they were saying that only wussies wear masks and stuff. And here we go again. We're going into mask lockdown. The big state is coming to get to make sure you wear your mask.
Well, they're not going to get the last laugh because they're going to be coughing too much.
Fair enough.
Well, and that was one of the things on the Laura Ingraham segment that John was just talking about, was the end of that as it was played on the Majority Report, was Laura Ingraham saying, yeah, they're just the liberals are just loving this. You know, they get to wear their masks again. They get to be able to tell everybody what to do. You know, it's that sort of, the nanny state. Unfortunately, more people probably saw that whole segment than read what John just read, and that's really the problem, is the reach of the Coke industry mouthpieces, and that's really the problem. Like, they have much more reach.
Well, they're investigating right now if there were Russians up in the Canadian forests. So
Jewish space lasers.
That's true. Marjorie Taylor Greene said that.
Being rude to the wasp space lasers.
That's right. Well,
I mean, if conservatives, don't want to wear masks to protect themselves from COVID or very dangerous smoke, more power to them. Enjoy.
Yeah, except there's immunocompromised people that, there's a variety of vulnerabilities that would make, people being reckless have unintended consequences for people who don't deserve it. Like I know some very frustrating libertarians who are afraid of the vaccine, but they pretty much just stay in their house. I mean, their elderly mother is there, although she probably doesn't want the vaccine either. And as long as they're isolating, I guess that's fine. It's not like they have real jobs or anything. I mean, they do, but they're not exactly 9 to 5.
Right. If you don't, thanks, Debbie Downer. Jeez, well, so
wait,
we have to move on here. So
if you're shut in, you're safe.
If you're shut in, you're safe. There you go. Thanks.
Yeah, but they're shut in together, so it's not that depressing. Not anymore, because their house was rebuilt after one of them started a fire.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did the private fire department put it out for them?
No, but I did make that point, and they didn't argue with me about it. They were like, "Oh yeah, that would be difficult."
Most excellent. Let's check back in with DPA. He's working with wood smoke right now. Dave, how are things coming along, my friend?
Hello.
Hello, Dave. Dave from PA. That's Pennsylvania town. How's the smoke out there in Pennsylvania?
It was bad for 2 days.
Right.
And then the day before yesterday, in the evening, it cleared out and we got a little bit of rain, which is good because it's already been drought conditions here.
Okay.
Which we were close to wildfire. We were red alert for wildfire down here. But then, the smoke was pretty bad. It was like a heavy fog. It smelled like, I have a wood stove in my house. If the wood stove leaks, that's what it smells like in the house. Just straight up wood forest smoke. So
yeah, I've had to close the windows and stuff. So
to be this far south and have it be that thick,
Right.
It was unnerving to see
Sorry
how
to-
far north it's coming from.
Sorry to hear, and keep a fire extinguisher handy.
Yeah.
So Professor John, thank you very much. Professor
you.
John's a poli-sci teacher, and he's
Oh,
you do
can I
lots of-
just,
oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, can I just add, one of our most cherished members of the Autonomous Collective here, James Caraway, put a very good suggestion in our chat. For people who are affected by this smoke, you can buy a 20-inch box fan, tape a 20-inch square MER 14 air filter to the back of the fan, put that in your window, and you are filtering out all of that small particulate matter. And in addition to a good air filter, I would say for inside, this is a good approach. It's cheap and effective, and you're going, not in the window, just in the, close the windows. Okay. Close the windows and have this blowing around, and it is essentially a air filtration device in your house.
That sounds
could-
really good. That sounds.
You could wear a hazmat suit.
You could do that too.
Oh,
I-
temperatures are over 90 up here where I am, and that's unusual for this time of year, right? Not even in
I think
July.
the term up here would be it's as sweaty as a glass blower's arse.
And Professor Ann Lee writes for the Daily Costs. That's KOS. She writes a Ukraine column every night, and I read it every night. Plus, you write other columns too, right, Ann? other
Yeah,
things?
I write other stuff.
That's right. Keeps busy. And Professor John and Professor Ann, thank you so much. And you good people at home, you can talk to them in our Zoom room. If you go to the newsletter, click on the link and join our autonomous collective, right? Did I say
Yes,
that right?
the Autonomous Collective. That
The
is correct.
Outermost Collection. All right.
And just
So
to let
I-
people know, Walter, we're on Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right, but we're only live on Friday for now, right?
We're only live on Friday, right? From 7 till what, 9 o'clock? Is that how we're doing it?
That's pretty well it. Yeah.
Eastern time, we're talking.
Should have been 7, 8:30, but we're running late, so.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And I think we have a guest scheduled.
Hotel California, WHLL, the Midnight Spin with Rush Limbaugh, here with traffic and weather together on the fives. Oh, here, Rush Limbaugh, your humble DJ here on WHLL. Tonight's Midnight Spin. I have in studio with me a very special friend, Pat Robertson, who apparently can't speak. I have it here in my formerly nicotine-stained fingers and envelope. I'll open it up here. It says, Pat has said all the words he could say, and God has banished him to sit silently here in hell and listen to WHLL, your classic rock station, with Will and Mike in the morning, and hear all of my boss, Roger Ailes, Satan's favorite tunes, the devil's music. Huh, Pat? Pat? Hello, Pat? Anyways, have you heard about the Trump indictment, Pat? Pat, he's facing 31 counts of being sexy as John Wayne. Now Canada is burning because God has seen Trudeau's woke school agenda. And the satanic Joe Biden crime family God is not impressed. All those sodomites and this gay month. It's a criminal enterprise, and it goes all the way to the deep state. Pat, you with me? Rainbows on fighter jets. Pat, ask Matt Gates. He'll tell you. Drag queens in the military. Drag queens on military bases. Pat, you don't understand. Trump is wiser now. He knows who the deep state is. Pence didn't have a choice under the Constitution. It's pure tyranny. Ask Snurdly, Pat, Jim Jordan knew. They all knew. Stolen elections, same-sex marriages. Pence signed it. He is a sodomite, Pat. Trump knows. They have no shame, Pat. Mike Pence, that little twerp, Nikki Haley, no character, no guts. Trump eats it up. No one stands in front of Trump. It's war, Pat. War. Tactical nukes. Biden's in his basement. War, Pat. I love the inside dope on how Biden and his crime family will rig the election ballot harvesting. Pat, stay with me here, Pat. Now, hats off to Matt Gaetz. Josh Hawley, Jim Jordan, and that Comer fellow. They fight for what's real. They fight for what's right. JFK knew. Ronald Reagan knew. Trump knows it's the damn CIA. The damn CIA, Pat. Now, WHLL traffic. Things are tough on the 405, the 420, the 496, the 869, the 705, the 206, the 989, and the 666 highway. Weather is going to be hot for the foreseeable future. 3 members of Toto will be playing their hits Africa and Hold the Line only at the Hell River Basin Casino this weekend. WHLL 666 on the FM dial. I'm Rush the Mush Limbaugh, and we said Pat back into the music with AC/DC and Big Balls, the Midnight Spin on WHL Jail. He's got big balls and she's got big balls.
Okay, what do we have to do to get you to do this every week, Rick?
He does. This is a recording of the podcast.
Wait, you guys are doing a podcast now?
Yeah.
I'm
We're
glad Rick is on it.
from
Yes.
live from Canada.
All right. Well, let's so we got Charity and Cameron waiting in the wings. Good job, Rush. I really appreciate that, Rush. Rush.
What? I'm listening to AC/DC's Big Balls. It's a hell of a song.
Thank you, Rush. Dave, before we let you go, is there anything you want to say? I see you're making a pyramid. Sorry, a triangle. Is that an isosceles?
I'm summoning a meteor with a Ouija board.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I just want to
Isn't that the symbol of the Illuminati?
You found out where we are.
Dave, appreciate what you do, and it's fascinating watching you do what you do, even though a lot of us don't understand it. But good job.
Well, hang on 1 second. I'll show you real quick.
Okay.
Rush Limbaugh understands it because he knows the only thing good about a tree is what you can do with it after you cut it down.
So these are the dovetails.
Right.
That slight splaying
Mm-hmm.
like a hawk's tail or a dove's tail. And these are what's called the pins.
Okay.
When I get my numbers lined up, they only go one way because they are bespoke, as they say. Here we go.
Lane appreciates that word bespoke.
I do.
Oh, look at this. Oh,
Look at that.
and is that
Beautiful.
wood glue goes in there then?
The best. This is a little looser than I like, so I'll probably use epoxy because it makes up the
Difference.
and then I know I'll never, ever get the call back.
Okay. So this is old school. This is the way they used to make it without pins and nails and stuff, right?
Well, they still, if you buy a kitchen with hardwood drawers, it's still going to have dovetails, but they're going to be, it's going to look more smaller dovetails done all by a machine very quickly. And it's going to look more like a zipper than something laid out by hand like this, like you would see in an older piece of furniture.
Fair enough. And are you still doing shop talk on Sundays, Dave?
Yeah, we do. Around 2:00, somewhere around there, 2:30, I'll log in and take any questions and we'll just put our heads together and figure stuff out.
So anybody in the audience or seeing this podcast, they can get the newsletter and the link and then join the Zoom crew for.
Yeah. And then you can stay on until Colombo right through the evening. So,
right.
But yeah, start out just hanging out here in the shop and just shoot the shit, basically.
Right.
Like
and then
in the shop.
And we have gardening as well. So
yeah, I'm not much of
makes,
a gardener, but there's gardeners that show up. That's for sure.
That makes for a good Sunday afternoon then, Dave.
It does. It does.
Okay. Well, thank you for what you do and for showing us your skill. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Walter.
Hey. Hey. All right. Hey.
Hey now.
Hey now. Let me find. Oh, here we go. We are going to we're so lucky. We're going to have an update from Cameron and Charity, here we go. Soon as they turn their camera on. Hi guys, how are you? How you doing?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Do you see? I got your pamphlet up here tonight. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it does look good. Walk Across Canada for you guys who are first time viewers. Cameron and Charity are walking across Canada in support of media attention for murdered Indigenous people. And their families, and good job, good work. You stayed at the Armed Forces base in Shiloh last week, right?
Well,
Or
that
sorry, you
was-
were there.
Yeah, we were invited for their Indigenous days, and that was about 2 weeks ago now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Brandon was.
Yeah, Brandon was quite a ways back.
Right.
We've definitely put on some kilometers though.
Yeah, we just passed the. Can you hear us?
Yes, very, very good. We can hear you.
Oh, okay, perfect. It's raining outside. We just passed the Ontario border. Was that yesterday or no? The night before.
Two nights ago.
Okay, and you're up by Kenora, is it?
Yeah, we just passed Kenora, and we left today and did 34 kilometers, I think, today before we.
And that's walking, right? So can I
Yeah.
ask you, what are you doing in a car? Are you guys cheating? What's going on here?
Huh? One of us walks 5 kilometers and the other one drives the vehicle. So we usually switch out. So every
Okay.
5 kilometers. Yeah,
right
so it's
on.
more of it's a relay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So any other media attention coming your way in Ontario?
Not so far in Ontario. We literally
What
just
is wrong with Ontario? What the heck?
That's what I said. We had trouble finding the sign, the Welcome to Ontario sign. We saw the Manitoba sign, and I'm like, okay. Then we went down like a couple 100 meters, and there's like nothing. Then another 100, and nothing.
Well, you know what we say up in what we say in Alberta is the only good thing out of Ontario is an empty Greyhound, but we don't mean it. So just saying, we don't mean it. They're on fire right now. How's the smoke where you guys are?
No smoke.
No smoke.
No
It's raining
smoke.
actually, so I'm thinking that's a blessing.
What is rain? Can you tell me?
We'll show you.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at
wow.
This here.
It is really nice. We had a nice setup before it started raining, so.
Yeah, we had it set up really nice on the picnic table out by the lake, and then the drops started coming, and we're like, okay, I guess we better jump in the truck then.
Yeah, I'll
but
say.
I must say, like, we have, as soon as we entered the border, we had somebody from Treaty 3 come out and meet us. It was so nice. Like, they came out right away to meet us. Just the hospitality we received just in entering Ontario was amazing. And
really,
she said we kind of snuck up on her and
yeah.
entered in Ontario a little earlier than she expected. So.
Yeah, but it was really nice. So we got greeted as soon as like the first day we were in, because we got in that night. We slept in the truck that night.
Mhm.
And so that was amazing, just getting that welcoming as soon as we arrived. And the
Right.
country here is beautiful.
It is so beautiful here.
Oh, it is, eh? Does it rival
Yeah.
BC? Do you think?
Yeah.
Minus the mountains. Like the
Oh,
mountains in BC are pretty gorgeous.
Yeah.
yeah, this
So
is true.
it's home, but this is beautiful. But mind you, I haven't been anywhere in Canada yet that I don't think is beautiful. So it's every province has its perks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. So what's your plans here? You're gonna get to Kenora, Ontario.
We passed Kenora.
We left today.
Sorry, my bad.
So we're trying to get
It's
to
the heat and the smoke up here. It's getting to me. So what are your plans now? You're making your way to Toronto, are you? Or
No, not Toronto, because Toronto goes down and the highway just comes like this way. So
we're gonna be going to Ottawa, right?
This is loud. Is
Can
it
you
loud?
hear us?
Pardon me? I'm losing you on your,
Yeah, the rain is crazy right now.
right. Okay.
If you see
Wow.
that, it's
Yes, it is. So you're going to be, so what, you're gonna wait for the rain to stop and then continue, or?
we normally walk through it. We have rain gear and everything, so we're pretty good. Well set up.
Right.
But right now we are probably gonna call it an evening and look for get set up to pass
Okay.
out and start early. But yeah, so we are planning our next. Where were we trying to go tonight? He's my GPS.
Okay, there is a campground.
No, I mean, what's our next town?
Our next big town is Vermilion Bay. And after that, people want to greet us in Dryden, Ontario.
Dryden, Ontario, yeah.
Yeah, so they want us to let them know before we get there. That way they could gift us with things, or just
to meet us, I think.
Just
but
to meet us, yeah.
I think, yeah, what was I gonna say? Sorry, I just got sidetracked.
It's getting really warm in here.
Right. And
It gets really cold, gets really warm.
I hear you. It's getting hard to hear you guys. So hopefully during the week we can connect and go through some of the details, and if there's of what's happened. So we appreciate the update. You're still walking. Go to Charity's Facebook page. The links will be in the description. And you guys have been posting some amazing stuff on your Facebook too. So
yeah, have you yeah, we do have the Facebook page. Yeah, the MMIP Awareness Walk, Steps to Bring Canada Together.
Right.
We met up with NIPA.
The NIPA runners?
Yeah, the NIPA runners. So that was really cool. The rain died down, so you could hear us again.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah, so they're actually a group. They had theirs all coordinated and planned. They weren't fly by the seat of your pants like we are. So they left from St. John's, I think she said in March. And there's a group of 5 runners running across, and it's for MMI, missing and murdered Indigenous women and Mother Earth. Yeah.
Okay.
So every child matters, kind of like a encompassing thing, is from what I understand. I did share one of their posts to the Facebook page, so that's really cool. And it was really awesome to meet somebody doing the same thing. And they're going from the East Coast to the West Coast.
And they left in March.
Yeah, they said they had to go through snow and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, geez,
Willikers. It was really nice to meet up with them because they also gifted her.
Yeah, everybody's been amazing. I got an extra pair of runners now, so that's nice too.
Oh, right on, right on. Well, you know what's amazing is you guys. It's actually a fairly short time for you to make it to Ontario by walking. Is I think.
Yeah, no, it's we didn't start right in BC though. You got to remember that we started
but from Alberta. Yeah.
Yeah, we calculated it went from Regina to, where was it? Oak Lake.
Oak Lake.
Just outside of Brandon, or before Brandon. It took us, so it's
6 days.
6 days. So that's about 50 kilometers a day.
Yeah. Right.
So we were just under 300 kilometers in 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Any chance you guys going up towards Ottawa?
Yes, that's what our goal is.
Yeah. And well, the goal is St. John's, but Ottawa, and then after St. John's, and then after St. John's, we are going from Prince Rupert to Prince George, and we're gonna walk home the Highway of Tears for BC.
Right.
We have met tons of amazing people along the way. We've had
awesome.
Even bikers, a lot of bikers that are just doing their cross Canada bike, sometimes just something that they want to do on their bucket list. And a lot of them are for there's a lot of cancer ones. Yeah.
Wow.
So
well, it's quite the worthy endeavor, and I hope we can snowball some media attention towards this.
we have
Go ahead.
had some media attention. We were on APTN.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had some other stuff. So
Well,
it's pretty amazing.
I don't know if you can.
CBC was there as well, but I don't know if I didn't really dive into it to see if there's a link for it, but CBC was there and they got our information. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think they were focused. They released a really amazing story. Actually, it's worth looking up. It's called Mother, Sister, Daughter. And yeah, when I was talking to him, he's like, we kind of had a showcase story, and it's perfect. It's all about the MMIGW. We got to speak at the legislative building
In Manitoba?
Yeah.
That was insane. I was so nervous. I was so nervous. There's so many powerful matriarchs there, and just like their words were so powerful. And I'm just like sitting there. I'm just the girl from the little res up in northern BC. So
Well,
I was in admiration.
Well, you guys are a great representative for this cause, and we thank you very much. But I don't know if you've been looking at the chat, but it's like we care about you guys, and hearts, and excellent. I love that you two are going strong. So that is just awesome, and I appreciate talking to you guys every week. And you know what? Anything you need? Do you need anything? What's going? You guys set for supplies and stuff? Sure, or no?
It's basically a day by day thing.
We do
like
right.
We probably need stuff, but we don't really say it. If people want to give us something, then they'll give us something, but we don't want to just be here and be like,
yes,
give us this, give us this, give us this.
It's
right?
for the
So
media attention, but we got to support you guys on your walk too. So
yeah, we want to keep the focus on the cause.
Right. I'm going to put your email and stuff into the description in case anybody out there in YouTube land can help them out. That would be much appreciated, even just to say hi and to connect with you guys.
Yeah,
what it's about, right? And your Facebook.
Yeah, just to like and share, because once you get the like and share, then it reaches more people.
It opens the conversation.
Yeah, and there have been like a lot of what do you call it? There
non-indigenous
people coming up. So it's been working.
Yeah. It has been actually.
Yes.
You've increased my knowledge and other people's knowledge too as well. So we thank you very much for that. Should we give Prime Minister Trudeau a call and tell him?
Yes. Walk a kilometer with us, Prime Minister.
Yeah, I got him on my speed
his
dial.
rival there, Pierre.
Okay. Well, I want you. Go ahead.
Well, we did have a gentleman we met last night. We met him last night, and it's just before Kenora. I thought it was Kenora, but I can't remember what it's called. But he actually came out and he walked with us today. That was pretty cool. As a non-native person, he had so many questions, and that's what it's about. Is like, let's have these conversations, ask these questions. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's increase awareness.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, yes, because that way people can know. Sorry, I'm just looking at another screen. Too many screens open here today. Keep the conversation going, and my gosh, let's deal with it and get some healing, right?
Yeah,
isn't that what it's all about?
And let's get these policies in place. And that was one of our things. Is like we're just the leadership, right? Let's make sure that all levels of leadership are coming together and making sure that they're implementing effective policies that help with the prevention and these communication and stuff, and that they're taking in all contributing factors into those, like taking into our consideration all those contributing factors while they're at it, right? Because doesn't just happen.
Whoa.
He's holding it like it doesn't just happen, right? There's a lot of reasons why people become vulnerable to becoming missing and murdered. There's a lot of reasons, and a lot of it has to do with access. They need access to supports, prior to becoming vulnerable to this. And sometimes, like, even if they have all the supports, it's just, you know, everybody can do better. There's something that each and every one of us can do to help prevent this from happening, even if it's just being there and looking out for somebody, you know?
Mhm.
Good words, good words. Actually, I remember as a kid, we used to have block parent and neighborhood watch
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. And
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't seen a sign in a window in years saying this is a
Yeah.
safe place for kids and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's so what you're doing generates other conversations too as well, eh? On what we can do
Yeah.
to protect our vulnerable and our children and our vulnerable people. That's right.
Yeah. I had a comment on one of my social media, and it really came to me. They're like, "Why are you guys walking?" I'm like, "There's like so much awareness of MMIW." I'm like, "There's awareness out there, but there's no action to it." Like that's the thing. We know it's a problem, but nothing's being done about it.
Right.
So that really came to me, and I'm like, okay. Oh, you're ringing, Bev.
Oh, that's my niece.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah. So there's there is awareness, but there's no action. So if Prime Minister Trudeau can come out and we could talk to him, then that'll be good.
You should come for a walk with us.
Well,
Everyone
yeah,
should
yeah,
just
that's
come for
right.
a walk.
He wouldn't go for a truck
Yeah,
driver's
hold this side,
convoy ride, but
Yeah.
maybe he'll come for
No,
a
just
walk,
right.
right?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Well, thank you guys. You take care. Stay dry. Keep your make sure you don't blow holes in your shoes. I mean, I
Oh, we
can't
got
imagine the
backups
rubber you
now.
guys are going through. So just
Yeah.
fantastic what you guys do. So thank
Yeah.
you very much.
You want to meet Gretchen?
They met
Sure.
Gretchen last time.
Hey, Gretchen.
Oh, there she is. No ticks tonight.
No ticks tonight.
ticks tonight. Come on.
Right on. Gretchen don't like the water.
She
No,
doesn't like
she-
horseflies. Those are not her
Oh,
friends.
yeah,
They're so
I've heard
cute.
that. I've heard that. And mosquitoes as big as like this, right?
They
Yeah.
they look almost like a bee, but they're not. But it was pretty funny the other day. We had one day where we had horseflies just tormenting us, and then the next day it was okay. And she came, like they weren't bugging us; they were leaving us alone. And she came out for a walk with me, and a butterfly flew up, and she was like, went to run, went to bite. She didn't know what to do. She thought it was a horsefly.
Right on. Right on.
She had a
Well,
little bit of PTSD from that one.
well, you guys take care. We'll be in touch during the week, and good on you guys for doing what you do. We appreciate it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for having us, and
Not a problem.
we'll probably see you in a week.
Yeah.
You betcha. You betcha. You keep in touch, and I hope we get you some more media coverage.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for everyone that listened on here, commenting. We haven't really looked back on the comments. They're just popping up. But
we're both holding the iPad in place. Does it fall?
Well, thank you very much. And you guys take care. Watch out for smoke. You know, you'll probably run into it yet, but
Yes. Yeah, that was one thing we were looking at, those toxic.
We do have our
fumes.
masks ready.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I do have a P100 respirator too, just because I'm used to working on the Williston Dust program.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Bonsoir. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Okay.
All right. That's the end of our podcast. And if you can support Charity and Cameron, please look in the links in the description, and you should do so. It's a very worthwhile cause that they're walking for to bring attention to. Thank you very much to Professor Ann and Professor John, and to Rush Limbaugh, which is Rick. Thank you. And thank you, Lane, and thank you, DPA, and thank you, Jim Earl and Martha Previte. And we'll see you next week. You guys take care.
Hold on, Walter. Hold on, Walter.
Oh, there's always something. What's up, Lane?
Thank you, Walter. That was very good. And it's always good to end with something inspirational, isn't it?
It is.
Really nice, that.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I had nothing to do with it. I just listened. So
Bravo.
take care. Whoa.
So I also only realized about halfway through this was an actual podcast.
Nate, just
Yeah.
2 seconds here. I was trying to do the end credits here, and it didn't work. There we go. Okay, and just let me